everybody. How's it going? Welcome. We are here for the very first episode of Collect All the Things, episode 0. All the things. Thingy things. Let's start talking about what we're doing on 9 o'clock here. So, yeah, I think basically the plans for today are to start talking about, like, what this is actually going to look like for us. In terms of, like, what we actually want to be collecting, where we want to be putting it, what kind of rules we want to be imposing on ourselves. Obviously, these are all made-up rules. Actually, everything is made up everywhere.
All rules are made up.
Everything is made up, and these don't matter at all. So we can break them at any point in time if we want to. Especially if it means it's going to be significantly more enjoyable for both us and you.
I'm actually writing all of this down, and then I'm going to get you to send it to one of the mods, and then because we're going to get a lot of questions as we do this, and then people can ask. Rule number 1: all the rules are made up. We can break the rules if we want to.
Yeah.
They're
pretty
Rule
much.
number 2: collect one of every item in Minecraft. Asterisk.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, honestly, that's
3,
probably all you need.
Well, no. I'm going to say the next one because this is super common, if I may.
Yeah.
Entities, mobs are not items, right?
Correct.
People are going to ask, does it mean you have to get every animal, every village? Yeah.
No, it does not. That is a good point. Although at some point that could be...
that mobs turn into...
It could be a fun thing to do in the future, for sure. You know, add a zoo to the back of our museum. When it comes to leather armor and the new armor trims, we do not need to worry about any of that crap.
We'll collect all the recipes, but we're not going to make them all.
Yeah, no, because there are literally, I think, millions. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, yeah, exactly. I mean, you joke, Abavis, but yeah, so they're saying, what about every durability of a diamond pickaxe? It's just like...
People ask that, right?
Yeah, and obviously we're not going to collect one of every diamond pickaxe with every combination of enchantment on it, right? Like, that's not what we're doing.
Diamond pick is good enough.
Yeah,
and actually, that's a good question. Do we want diamond pick and enchanted diamond pick, or diamond pick is good enough?
I actually don't mind having... enchanted, like, I don't mind actually the idea of collecting every tool and then picking a very easy enchant that we can put on every tool to give it the appearance of enchanted, right?
Shiny.
So that when you open up
1.20, they're making the shininess less, right?
Yeah, but that's fine. I think it's still kind of fun.
This is only items that you can get in your inventory in survival.
Correct. Yes, that's another good one. Yep. This is only survival items
that can be picked up into your inventory. No glitching items either. There we go.
Yeah.
So you're probably not going to see us with bedrock. Probably not going to see us with end portal frames.
Yeah. Or any of the other weird stuff that, you know, the Psycraft server is doing.
Yeah. Yep. So another rule that we are going to stick pretty closely to is we can't just go raid our storage systems for all of these items, right?
No.
Like, we can't just start next week by going to my base, Uno's base, and Surge's base and collecting one of everything that we possibly can to give our collection a jump start. That is not what we are doing. We are, however, going to make use of things like Surge's Villager Trading Hall. That's not something that we need to make another one of, right? It exists already. It works. We can make use of that.
Enchantments.
Yep.
So, do we need protection 1, 2, 3, and 4, or do we just need protection 4? We're not going to do every permutation of everything, but do we need one of each enchantment?
I do love the idea of getting one of each enchantment, and I do believe that it should be our primary goal. But also, it does sound maybe not impossible, but like an unreasonable amount of work to get all of those books, right? Like, your Villager Trading Hall is great because it can get us all the high-level enchantment books that we need, right? But where do we actually get Punch 1 from?
Also from villagers.
Yeah, but that means we need to
literally just re-roll them until you get all of them.
Yeah, and that would require a lot. Maybe what we say is we aim to get one of every book of the highest possible level.
Okay, so for enchantments, you just need the protection book, and that's good enough. That's fair.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I think that works. I think that probably works for like potions as well. You know, we don't need speed 1 and speed 2.
Yeah,
if we can just
go
with
so
the speed 2.
Enchantments and potions. Just give me a second to write this down.
Yep. Do we need to get bucketable? I like the word bucketable fish.
Yep.
Or an axolotl.
There's not that many because it's again, those are items that you can get in the world. So yes,
but like all the different colors of axolotls in a bucket, you wouldn't care.
I would say we'd have to get all the axolotls. Well, go into here, James. Go into creative.
Yep. Oh, wait.
Type axolotl. Music discs are items that you can pick up. So yes, vegetals.
It's only the one. It doesn't actually.
We only need one axolotl. I guess
because it doesn't. This is the sprite shows up just like that. It just is because I'm pretty sure it's just the one
right.
sprite.
It doesn't.
Right.
I don't think the different colors show anything that's there.
Correct.
Similarly, can you do tadpole?
That's also just a bucket of tadpole.
Okay. Can you do fish? Bucket of fish. Actually, just type bucket, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so bucket of fish, there's pufferfish, salmon, cod, tropical fish. That's it.
There you go. There's your answer, chat, for everybody asking about permutations.
So, this is our bucket collection, right? Like, we will have a bucket display with a bucket full of water, a bucket full of lava, a bucket full of powdered snow, a bucket full of milk, and a bucket filled of these 4 fish, the axolotl, and the tadpole. A bucket list, if you will.
List.
Yeah, exactly. That will be our bucket list.
Again, chat, if it's an item and you can pick it up, yes.
Are you going to make displays for the things or just stick them in chests? We're going to make displays.
So, within reason, there are somewhere between 1,400 and 1,600 items. That many item frames will lag the game to the point that it will be unplayable.
It's not that many. We're not looking at. We're probably closer to like 1,000. Maybe 1,200.
Still, though.
It's still a lot. Yeah. It is still a lot. So.
Because, all right, so like big level picture stuff like that, my goal for my home streams is I'm going to be designing a museum.
Yeah.
I'm going to be making dioramas.
Yes.
I'm going to be making themed exhibits that it works in, but I do imagine the vast majority of the items will be in chests or barrels.
Yeah, well, I mean, stuff like wood is a perfect example of a thing that we can build. Like, what I would love to do is to walk into, the Hall of Wood, or whatever you want to call it, and have, like, individual pedestals, almost, of identical displays for each of the woods. I think that could look really cool.
You have no idea how much extra work that would be. I'm going to...
Yeah,
I only have so many hours in my life. I've got plans, and we'll try and make it big or small. But yeah, it is. Not possible. I will show as many as I can.
So another rule that we're going to try to follow as much as humanly possible is, for anybody who doesn't know, obviously this is the server that we have been playing on for about 18 months now. The server fired up when 1.18 came out. And then was updated to 1.19, and then we are going to be updating it again tomorrow to 1.20. The pretty much 98% of playing and building on the server has been done on the main continent that we currently inhabit. And it's a fairly sizable continent. And that's where I am. It's where Erica is. It's where Serge is. A couple of our friends, Uno. Everybody is on this continent. And what we've done in the past is we have basically reset everything outside of the continent when 1.19 came out. And we're going to do the same thing for when 1.20 comes out tomorrow. I'm going to reset basically everything that isn't the main continent. I might also look to start resetting some stuff in the Nether. Obviously, I don't want to knock out any of the work that has been done with the Nether tunnels and stuff like that. And we have there's a farm or two in there that I want to be careful of killing. But obviously, we want access to unrated strongholds and bastions, because that's where you find some of the new items from 1.20. So as best as we can, the plan is to try to stay off the main continent when it comes to like getting items and actually go out and explore and try to find like new biomes and all the new blocks and stuff like that. Which I think is we could probably start talking about how we plan to actually start next week.
Yeah, people like the hype of a brand new server.
Oh, whoops.
People like the fresh world and the fresh start, and we recognize that with this current plan, we're not going to have that. But we still want that day one world exploration. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of our endgame gear and put it in an ender chest. And then we're going to get on boats, and we're going to sail away to the new world, sail away from our continent, and have that start. But then once we progress to survival Minecraft to the point that we'd finally unlock ender chests, we basically like get access to the stuff so we can actually start the project. In total, the scope of this project is too big to go completely from scratch. So we're giving ourselves sort of a compromise.
Well, to be fair, it's too big for this show.
Yes, sorry. Yes. It's the way that we do it. 3 hours a week, because we're going to have to make farms that we've already made before.
Do we want to figure out where we're putting this museum?
Right now?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we should probably figure it out pretty soon. The museum will not have a zoo, at least not for now.
Hey, James, there's a giant flat space at my base we could show people.
There's a giant flat space at your base that we could show people.
Yeah, it's got a bow on it. It might be a perfect place for a museum.
Right. Welcome to Surge's starter base.
Yeah.
He left
Such
for
an
a
odd
while.
Choice of me to make it completely entire right.
Yeah, he went away for a while, so I don't know. I felt like I wrapped it up for you, so that when you came back, you had a surprise to open. Looks pretty cool, right?
I had no idea, and I have to give a shout out to chat. Nobody spoiled this. I had no idea.
This was not a planned thing. I don't actually remember what the original prank was going to be, and then we got here and we started doing this. I think the original prank was literally just the doors. Like I did to your main base, which was just like covering them all up, being like, "Sorry, we're closed. Come back again later." And then this became a thing, and it took about 2 hours to get it done. I
like that you gave up trying to make a bow. Have you shown chat the bow yet?
I think you probably went all in on the pun.
No, this wasn't me giving up. This was literally always the plan. I didn't even consider building a bow. We had this dumb idea, and we're like, well, this is great. See? Look, it's a bow on top. It's a lot of bows. The one thing that I don't think I ever did is, I didn't come back and finish up some of this carpet. I don't remember why. I think I did that so that there wouldn't be snow on it. Yeah, I think that's why I did it. But I don't actually know why I did all the carpet on top.
Or were you trying to spawn-proof it or something?
Oh, maybe I would. Oh, you're right. That is probably what I was doing. I think I was probably trying to spawn-proof it. Because they did torch a little bit up here, too, right? So, this says I've placed 10,000 blocks of diorite in this playthrough. And I would guess most of those are there.
Much of it is that. Yeah.
I would guess 95% of that is this present right here.
Oh, here's a question. Can we buy items from wandering traders?
Yes. In my opinion, absolutely we can.
Yeah, okay. I imagine so, but I mean, that's not even... Right.
Well, I guess the question is, sure, you can buy them, but where'd you get the emeralds from?
Oh.
All right.
My ender chest. No,
there is this island to the west, which I don't believe is being used at all. And I don't hate the idea that it's like, especially if we do at some point in the future do a zoo, because then we can go just full on Jurassic Park. And then my guess is this island right here is this island right here is. Okay, I genuinely love the idea of making Jurassic Park sometime in the future. Why would you sing the music? It's the worst. By that, I mean it's the best. Oh, yeah. It's got a big river down the side here. Obviously, we probably want to stay away from this, the thick, dark... Okay. Well, now you've ruined it.
Put the melodica away.
So, Serge, you were talking yesterday about doing a lot of pre-planning.
Yes.
Did you have a rough size in mind?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure
big.
if, like, yeah, like, I wasn't sure if, like...
It have to be so big.
Yeah, like, I wasn't sure if you had, like, maybe, like, even just, like, how many chunks you think it would be looking at trying to sort of encompass, like... Because, like, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, like, you could put it basically, like, where you're standing, right?
Hold on.
Could be the very center of this build.
It's very hard to figure out right now, the basic scope. Maybe I can share my screen.
All right. So this is what you're looking at, huh?
The BC legislature.
Yep.
Yeah. And so we did a bunch of research on what museums look like. And museums typically look like one of three things. A box, an unrecreatable art piece in a modern setting, like the Mopop Seattle, right? Like,
yes, obviously, yeah. Obviously,
right?
that is not a structure that exists.
Do.
Yeah. Well, I could.
Or it's just a box.
I mean, if you want, I could install chisel and bits.
Anyways, so if we're looking for something kind of medieval looking, like the Louvre, for example, if you ignore the pyramid, also has kind of a similar European architecture, right? So I like the idea of this build. Now, it's worth mentioning the facade, the front facade, it's actually a huge building.
Yes. Oh, I'm aware.
Right? Like when you look at it from above,
Yep.
you can see the front shape and how it goes there. So we have a ton of space to work in here.
So
I was also looking at, like, when I'm talking about planning, I also got into stuff like this, right?
Yep.
Like,
Oh, I've spent many hours in that building. I know it well.
Yeah.
If you go back to the other one, I'll tell you a fun. Do you know where the premiere works?
no, I do not.
The top left of that image right there, that wing, that is the premier's office.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now you know.
So my original scope was, of course, from the front building to include maybe just this. Do you see my mouse?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Just this section, but not including that building there. And seeing how that goes. I also started looking into museum floor plans
Yep.
for, like, walk-throughable exhibits.
Yep.
Right? And I'm even planning on going down to the Royal BC Museum and maybe just walking through to get a feel of what it means to walk through. Here's a 3D tour of the Met and, like, museum floor plans, all kinds of stuff like that. Like, we're doing some interesting stuff here. In terms of scale, I think every floor should be 9 blocks tall.
Okay.
So this is one floor. So picture that being 9 blocks tall, and you start to get a sense of scale, right? So with the inside is 9. That's probably 7 blocks across. So this is probably 7 and then 11 and then 7. So this would be a chunk.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. Oh wait.
So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably 7 chunks across, maybe even a little bit bigger than that.
I mean, probably allow for.
Yeah.
Probably aim for making sure we have like at least 8 chunks across, and probably like, God, at least 6 chunks deep.
The depth is even bigger than the width. Like it looks larger than a square. We have wings, right? So each wing is going to have themes. So I'm thinking of a biome wings, botanical, aquatic, nether, and ores. Like you walk through and it's displayed, but again, not every single item is out. Anthropology, wood product, stone product, villager blocks, rails, archaeology, redstone. A whole wing for lights and color.
Yep.
And then a gear wing, a mob drop wing, and then I couldn't think of what to do for food and potions and books, and somebody's like cafeteria and gift shop, which I loved.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
I definitely love gift shop. Gift shop
Right?
is strong.
Yeah, for records, paintings, books, right? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, we could. Oh, I'm now thinking. If you go into a record store, you can have the headphones and you can listen to tracks. For the record, you could have something where you can play the records.
I almost want one of every item in a chest as that being the true collection.
I mean, we could. So what you could do is like, upstairs you have these like cool exhibits that you're going through where we try to exhibit as many actual items as possible, but it's not everything. And then maybe that downstairs part is the vault where we actually keep one of everything. Like that's where you go to actually see the whole thing.
Is really cool. Like I love the idea of a museum to store stuff, and I love the idea. Like I'm going to make exhibits. I'm going to show it off, but I don't think it makes sense to show every item.
Well, I mean, certainly not like one of every. I mean, books are tricky because we could actually put books on bookshelves now, which is cool.
Yeah.
But like potions are a perfect example of like, yeah, we don't need to show every potion.
We don't need to show every gate.
Yeah.
Like some of that's just boring. Like every single variation of like, every stair is just like.
I mean, they're like I don't agree. I think there are ways to make that interesting, right? Like I think there are fun ways that we could do it where it's not just like here's a row of all the stair types, right? And build them into like, we could almost make art like out of the things, right? But
then you're not showing it is the issue.
Well, but
like
that's
ontologically.
But that's part of the
item.
But that's part of the exhibit, right? I do like the idea of also having one of everything in a chest downstairs where we can be like, this is the actual complete collection, and upstairs in all of these cool exhibits are a selection of all of these things, but not everything.
Yeah.
Displayed in fun and inventive ways that when you walk through, you're like, oh, that's fucking... Sorry, I just swore. That's really neat. Like, I really like that. Like, here's a sculpture of a bunch of stairs, right? And it has a bunch of stairs. It doesn't need to have all of them, but, like, it could be some weird modern sculpture thing. I'm like, assuming, like, you're coming from the main continent over here. Maybe we build a cool dock, and you walk up here, and you're standing right where I'm standing, and you're looking at the front of this building.
Yeah, that ain't wide enough.
Well, that's 9 chunks wide.
Oh, smaller than I thought it was going to be.
So I had a crazy idea that is crazy, and that was having to ship everything in minecarts.
That is great. No, I don't understand why you two aren't terrified of the scope of this project. You don't want to make it harder.
I don't know.
We're just not thinking.
I mean, you're the one who wants to take on the museum, so
yeah. But I'm going to put 20 hours a week into this.
Yeah, I'm not ever terrified of anything to do with this show because it's 3 hours of my life a week.
Yeah,
I'm good after that.
I'm also curious about y'all's gear. Because today was also kind of like a gear prep up day too. Like you
fell down a hole.
Yay! All right, who had 11-14 on their bingo cards? I buried myself in a hole, by the way.
Coward.
Yeah, that seems...
There we go. So there's aquatic.
Yo!
Armor.
What a time to come back to.
Banner patterns, books. This is all the botanical, deep dark, end, food, all the light and color, miscellaneous, mob drops, nether, ore products, ores, potions, rails, records, redstone, stone products, stones, tools, villager blocks, weapons, wood products. Yeah? Alright. Well, I think we have a pretty good idea of what we're doing here. I think we've compiled a list of reasonable rules that we can basically change at any time we want because this is our show and we can make up the rules.
I mean, I very deliberately made that as rule number 1 specifically for chat to be like, what are the rules? It's like the rules are all fun and we're in charge.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a really good idea of what our rules are going to be. I think we have a pretty good idea of where we're going to actually construct this museum. And obviously this is going to be, an enormous undertaking, but I think we should have a lot of fun doing this.
Hey, we got 30 minutes. You want to take down this diorite cube?
No.
That's fair.
I'm actually quite happy with it. I think that it's...
I can make that that's a me problem. I respect that.
Well, you're gonna take it down? I worked really hard on it.
I mean, why is it even a problem, I guess?
Fine, let's go take down this diorite cube.
Ooh, all right, I'll set up a beacon.
Oh, this is so sad.
Iron.
This is the saddest thing I've ever seen.
God, this would have taken me forever to do solo.
Sorry?
This would have taken me so long to do solo.
Taking it down?
Yeah. This was so big.
Yeah, man. I don't mess around.
Dang.
When James pranks, he pranks hard.
Yep. And then waits 4 months until it's seen. February, March, April, May. Yeah.
Refill one of your chunks.
Sorry?
Payoff.
My prank was going to be to refill one of your chunks.
That would be so much more work than this. That would be so much more work than this. You would
maybe
yeah.
Cover each chunk.
No. Deep slate all the way, top to bottom.
I assure you, you would not like doing that. Could you imagine making this out of obsidian? Woo!
I would go great.
I would just leave the server. I'd be like, well,
install vein miner.
Was fun.
Yeah, pretty obvious that James hates me.
Honestly, installing vein miner might be faster than going into creative.
Nope.
All right, so it was 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, stack 18. So
whatever despawned.
It was 8640 plus, what did I say, 14 stack? Plus
14 stack plus 18, I think, something like that.
Yeah. 18 plus 8640, 9,554 diorite is how much that was. And I would say maybe a little bit, despawn, but probably not much.
No, probably.
So I would guess it was probably around like 9,500. Which,
did you also show the full shulker full of wool and?
Yep, there is also I bought, by the way. This is all purchased. Yeah, I
figured you bought that from Dan.
Yeah, I bought this from the shop. And yeah, so you can have. Oh, this looks so weird without your big, the big box.
Yes, that's what made it weird. Lack of box.
Weird. All right, friends. We did it! I hope everybody has a good rest of your day. Stay safe. Do what you got to do. YouTube, what up? Hope you're doing well. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as always. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye, everybody!